Block 1. Today we'll discuss Block 2. I am Srajan Kumar Singh. This okay. In this block, this is Block 2. In this block, there are the unit 4, 5, and Unit 6. And Unit 6. In Unit 6, we'll discuss internal environment analysis. Okay. So let's go straight away to Unit 4. So first is external environment. Though in Unit 1 we already had discussed uh, some concepts of internal and external environment. In Unit 1 we had discussed already SWOT and which and weaknesses are concerned with internal environment, whereas opportunity and threats are concerned with external environment. But okay, now in this unit we will discuss in detail about external environment. Okay, so strategic analysis is basically concerned with structuring the relationship between business and its environment. This is what we had already discussed in the last lecture, that in strategic analysis you have to see we have to study and maintain balance between business and its environment. Now environment can be of two types. One is internal and the other one is external. We all know that internal environment is controllable, whereas external environment is not controllable, but we can control internal environment till a great extent. The environment in which a business operates has a greater influence on their success or failure. Because all the say if there are more than one business in same industry, then it is not mandatory that both the businesses or all the businesses will have same profitability or same say performance, because of the difference in environment. Could be difference in internal or external environment. So there is a strong linkage between changing environment, the strategic response of business to such change, and the performance. Means first there is a changing environment, could be internal as well as external, but in this case we are studying external only. So the changing environment and how the business say uh, res- respond towards it, means strategic response of business towards the changing environment. This will give you uh, the competitive edge if you can successfully make or fulfill gap between changing environment, means change in the environment, degree of change, and the appropriate response towards it. The external environment, which is dynamic and changing, hold both opportunities and threats for the organization. Okay, fine. So the same thing, that in SWOT analysis there is opportunity and threat, and opportunity and threat are concerned with the external environment, which is dynamic and changing. Okay. Next, external environment analysis. There are four components of external environment analysis. They are scanning, monitoring, forecasting, and assessing. In scanning, the scanning is the study of all segments in a general environment. Whatever the general environment is, you have to study all those factors available. It is scanning. Then monitoring, observing environmental changes to see if an important trend is emerging. If there is any important trend emerging, then this trend needs to be addressed properly, because the changing environment could be a threat for the business, or it also might bring an opportunity to the business. Next is forecasting, the development of feasible projections of what might happen, and how quickly as a result of changes and trends are detected. The forecasting, we do forecast for near future or for distant future only. So we see that in future, be it near or distant future, we see that what might happen and how quickly as a result of change and trends detected. If we implement something or if we make any strategy. So how feasible will it be? Assessing, determining the timing and significance of the effects of environmental changes and trends on the firm. X. Major parts of external analysis is the identification of opportunities and threats. We have already discussed opportunity and threats in the last class. Okay, so we'll go through it quickly. Opportunity, environment, condition that, if exploited, means if used effectively, helps a company achieve strategic competitiveness. So threat must be just opposite to it. So what is threat? Environment condition that may hinder a company's efforts to achieve strategic competitiveness. So if there is an environment condition which can give a competitive edge to any organization or an industry, this is an opportunity for them. Or if it hinders company's effort, or if it works as a resistance, then we'll consider it as threat. Our next topic is industrial organization model. The industrial organization model adopts an external perspective on a strategic decision making. It begins with the idea that external forces have major effect on organizations' strategy activities. The main idea is that external forces have major effect on organizations' strategy activities. Reason, because internal forces can be controlled because they are controllable till a great extent, whereas external factors or external conditions are not controllable. So that's why external factors pose a great impact on organizations' strategy activities. Organizations have to make strategies specifically. They try to cope up uh, the challenges. They try to meet the challenges which are present in external environment. Next, this model assumes that the features and conditions of external environment impact the formulation and implementation of strategies in order to generate above average return and thereby gain competitive advantage. So this industrial organization model assumes that the feature and conditions of the external environment impact the formulation and implementation of a strategy. So it is the same thing that this model assumes that the feature of condition means whatever the characteristics of external environment are there, they impact formulation and implementation of the strategies in order to generate above average return. So above average return or subsequently supernormal returns. Further, the model assumes that all the organizations operating within an industry process similar set of resources. This implies that due to similarity among set of resources, majority of organizations operating in certain industry or certain section of an industry has comparable skill and consequently pursues similar tactic. So this model says, see, okay, now let's take a revision. Give me a minute, just a minute. Okay, this is a blank slide. So this model was saying that that external environment is saying that external environment poses challenges for for formulation and implementation of a strategy. So this is one thing which we have discussed right now. Now, second thing, it says that if there is an industry and number of firms are working in that industry, are present in that industry, then all the firms will have similar kind of external environment, obviously. And if they are facing similar kind of or same kind of external environment, then the strategies or challenges will also be same. This is the last line. Further, the model assumes that all the organization operating within an industry possesses similar set of resources. This implies that due to the similarity among set of resources, majority of organizations operating in a certain industry or a section of an industry has comparable skills and consequently pursue similar tactics. Now, examine the external environment, which includes general, industrial, and competitive environment to identify external environment. This is one. Now, next step is based on the structural parameters of the industry or industries is to be chosen with a high potential for returns. Means if they are in same industry. Strategies associated with above average return should be developed based on the features of the industry. Based on the features of the industry means based on the external environment relating to a specific industry only. Acquire or develop the key resources required for successful implementation or the formulated strategy and plans. Okay. So, competitive analysis, the strategy management is an assessment of strength and weakness of current and potential competitors. Competitive analysis, the business needs to analyze the it is the needs to analyze the this is one strength and weakness of of not ourselves of current and potential competitors, right? So if we assess the strength and weakness of our current and potential competitors, it means we are say analyzing competition. The competitive now next subtopic is competitive forces. Competition in any industry is usually intense. Usually it is intense. Number of times it has been witnessed whereby the organizations have capitalized on weakness of its competitors. There are a number of times, and there are various examples where it has been seen that competitor one means company one or business one tried to capitalize the weakness of company 2 or business 2 because the weakness of a business could be an opportunity for the other business. Therefore, it is very important to understand the forces which are important for competitive analysis. So, these are some uh, uh, important analysis which is to be done while analyzing competitive strength. So strengths of computer is one, weakness of computer is second. If we find our competitors strong uh, in a specific area, then we would be needing to make our the similar area equally stable. Weakness of the computers. So weakness of an organization could be the opportunity for the other. So from the weakness of the computers, we can assess the competition. Objectives and strategies of the computers, whatever they are using. Response of competitors towards pestle factors. In last class, we discussed pestle analysis, pestle factors. So we can analyze that how our competitors are responding towards pastel frameworks. Vulnerability of competitors to alternative strategy of other organizations. Vulnerability of organizations to their alternative strategies. Positioning of products or services relative to major competitors. The status of entry and exit of new and old business organizations, respectively. We'll discuss this one in detail later in Michael Porter's model. The key factors resulting in the present competitive position in the industry. Trends of the sales and profit ranking of major competitors in the industry. This will also give us uh, more than enough information about the competition, about the competitors. right? Suppliers and distributor relationship in the industry, threat to competitors due to substitute products or services. Okay. The next is Potter's five forces model or Potter's five forces framework. Potter's five forces model or competitive analysis is one of the most widely used approaches to develop strategies. The five forces framework developed by Michael Potter is the most widely known tool for analyzing the competitive environment, which helps the explaining how forces in the competitive environment shape strategies and affect performance. So this Michael Porter's five forces model is about analyzing competitive environment and how we can make our strategies, or how forces can shape or mold our decision making. He said, Michael Porter discussed that there are five types of forces: threat of entry or new entrant, bargaining power of buyers, threat of substitutes or threat of substitute products, bargaining power of suppliers, and industry rivalry. We'll discuss all these five in detail. So first is supplier power, bargaining power of supplier. An assessment of how easy it is for supplier to drive up prices. This is determined by the number of suppliers for each essential element, the uniqueness of their product or services, the relative size and strength of supplier, and the cost of switching from one supplier to another. See, if a business is operating in a specific environment, then obviously the business must be having various number of suppliers. So the suppliers have their own bargaining power. Uh, just imagine if there is a product which is very unique and a supplier one, only supplier, there is only supplier one who is having that raw material, then that supplier one will be having uh, a good enough bargaining power that supplier can bargain with the business easily, right? So if alternative is available, then obviously the bargaining power of supplier will be reduced a bit. So the relative size, the product service, essential element, uniqueness of product, or switching from one supplier to another. So all these things constitute supplier power. Next is buyer power, or buyer's bargaining power. An assessment of how easy it is for buyers to drive prices down. See, suppliers will rise prices high, whereas buyers will try to drive prices down. So it is a double-edged sword for a business, because supplier, on one hand, supplier always try to say increase the price. So an assessment of how easy it is for the buyers to drive prices down. This is determined by number of buyers in the market, the importance of each individual buyer to the business, and the cost to buyer of switching from one supplier to another. If a business has just a few potential buyer, they are often able to dictate terms. If a number of buyers are less in numbers, then they will have good enough bargaining power. And if there are n number of buyers available, then individual buyers do not carry much power of bargaining. Next is industry rivalry. The main driver is the number and capability of competitors in the market. If there are many competitors offering undifferentiated products and services, this will reduce market attractiveness. If number of sellers are, say, giving just one kind of service, then, or one kind of product, and there is no differentiation, then obviously it will reduce the market attractiveness. Okay, and the organization itself they itself are rival in the industry. For example, it has been seen that in the telecom industry, there is the degree of rivalry is quite high. A threat of substitution, where close substitute products exist in market, it increases the likelihood of customers switching to alternatives in response to price increase. So if there is a perfect substitute is available or suitable substitute product is available, then the chances of customers or buyers to shift the from product 1 to product 2 will be quite high, and it reduces both the power of suppliers and the attractiveness of the market. So the the substitute product or the second product, which will be the substitute of the first product, will have a negative impact on the first one. A threat of new entry. Profitable market attracts new entrants, which in turn reduces profitability. For example, retail outlets. So, unless incumbents have strong and durable barriers to entry, for example, patents, economies of scale, capital requirement, or any copyright or government policy, then the profitability will decline to a competitive rate. So, new entrants always seek say places to enter, and if a place is interesting or there are very few restrictions of entry and market is attractive, then the new entrant will also pose a threat to the business. Next is strategy groups. Next topic is strategy groups. Strategy groups can be defined as a group of companies within a particular industry that follows a similar strategy or similar business model. A strategy group is a name given to a group of companies in a particular industry that uses a similar business model or set of strategies. Means if in an industry there are some firms and the firms have similar business model or similar set of strategies, could be anything. We'll discuss it later in next slide. So if it is the case, then all these group of companies are known as a strategy group, right? The companies that are part of the same strategy group have more competition with the members of strategy group than the competitors outside the strategy group. See, if companies are having the same business model or same set of
सर कोई टेक्निकल इशू है सर, आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
I think Sir left the session.
लगता है सर डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए हैं। कलीग का भी किसी को नॉलेज है कि एग्जाम का क्या है, अभी कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन है?
डेट शीट आ गई है।
कहाँ पे मेंशन है, कुछ है किसी के पास कुछ ऐसा लिंक? कैन सेंड इन व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप और सम इन दिस मैसेज ग्रुप।
On same WhatsApp group and drop a message.
प्लीज अगेन शेयर।
Okay, one minute, I will say.
Anyone present in class?
Yes, sir.
सर कुछ भी आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
डियर, अभी किसी ने सेकंड सेम के असाइनमेंट सबमिट करने स्टार्ट किए हैं क्या? अभी कोई क्लास में प्रेजेंट है क्या?
वो साउंड नहीं आ रहा है क्लियर। क्लास चालू है क्या बंद है?
आरसी से लोग जुड़े हुए हैं लेकिन कोई आंसर नहीं दे रहा है।
लगता है सर डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए हैं।
You are right, sir. You are right.
अभी किसी ने नेक्स्ट सेम सेम के ये असाइनमेंट बनाने शुरू किए हैं क्या?
मैंने तो नहीं
Yet to
किए
start.
क्योंकि फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर ही खत्म नहीं हुआ तो सेकंड कैसा करेंगे?
नहीं, मैंने फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर सबमिट कर दिया था। टीपीसीपी वाला
अभी एग्जाम से रिलेटेड किसी की कोई बात हुई है क्या? क्या कब कोई एग्जाम हुआ, किसी ने क्लैरिफाई किया क्या? एनीवन, एनी अपडेट रिगार्डिंग एग्जाम? प्लीज शेयर।
Okay, sorry, there was a slight disturbance. So, was I audible? Did you get the lecture?
Yes, sir.
Oh, why? Okay. So, if you want to ask anything, Mohammad Rashid, you can ask, or anyone else.
Audible now, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Uh, if there anything which you think that you need to ask, then you can ask. In last class, we had short of time, but today we have some time, few minutes left. So it is good for us that you can ask something if you want to, or if you want me to discuss any topic again, then I can. Okay. If not, okay. If not, then give me just a minute. Just right.
सर अभी कोर्स रिलेटेड कुछ बातें पूछ सकते हैं क्या?
किससे रिलेटेड?
कोर्स रिलेटेड अभी एग्जाम या फिर असाइनमेंट के रिलेटेड अभी सेकंड सेम के जो क्या अभी असाइनमेंट बनानी शुरू कर दें या फिर क्या है सर, अभी वेट करना है कि फर्स्ट
As far as I know that this assignment and examination related information is communicated from regional center only. So your assignment topics or date is announced by or informed by regional center only. So I don't have much information about the assignment questions or when to submit. So I think uh, regional center will tell you that how to submit
You
and what is the last date
you can download
of it.
assignment from IGNOU website.
Sorry.
Sir, he can download assignment from website. Assignment questions from the website of IGNOU.
Okay, okay. So as Mohammad Rashid said that the assignment questions can be downloaded from website. So uh, you please check IGNOU website and you can get assignments from there and then submit as per the procedure which is used by IGNOU. Right. Okay. So in next class, we formulation of strategy, which is block 3, and in block 3 there are 3 units, which we'll discuss later: business level strategies, competitive strategies, and corporate level strategies. And after this block 3, there will be last block left with left in the syllabus. Block is, I'm trying to open the file. Yes, this is the last one. Uh, After corporate level strategy, we shall be studying alternative routes to diversification. This is 9.7. Various strategies. And yes, this one's strategic implementation and control. In strategic implementation and control, there are 4 units, so it will take quite a time. Implementation, behavioral dimensions, corporate governance. Is it visible? I think it is not. Okay, just a minute. Yes. It must be visible now. Okay. So this is block 4. This block 4. In block 4, in strategic implementation and control, we shall be discussing implementation behavioral dimension. In unit 2, in unit 11, corporate governance and control and evaluation, and this is lot of to be discussed in block 4. So I'll try to cover block 3 and unit 10 of block 4 in next lecture, and in the last lecture we shall be discussing this corporate governance 2 evaluation. So unit 3, 3 units of block 3, and this last unit of block 4, right? Okay, there is. Okay, fine. So if there is nothing which you want to ask, then your next class of financial management will be taken by Dr. Shivangi Sharma at 4 p.m. So she will be joining the class and you can attend her class. And please be with me for 1 more minute so that I can mark attendance, because I have not marked your attendance. Just 1 minute. Then you can leave after a minute. Just 1. Okay, thank you very much. You all can leave. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir.